Here with new Charlotte 49ers head football coach Francis Biff Poggi. First of all, the obvious question, how'd you get the name Biff?
Well, it's an interesting story. My parents were older when I came along, and my mother, for some unbelievably strange reason, decided she was going to let my 11-year-older than me brother name me, and he came up with the name Spike, and my mother said, no, we'll go with Biff. So he got something, but he didn't get what he wanted.
And second question, have you talked to the equipment staff yet about getting some custom sleeveless gear?
Oh, yeah.
I know we've seen you out there with that.
I told Mike Hill a little bit of a lie, actually, in the interview process. I told him I was going to wear a tie, and I might sometime, but I'm going sleeveless. That's all coming back. Yeah, we're going back to that.
What does this opportunity mean to you to be a head coach at the FBS level?
It's an unbelievable opportunity, and it's by the grace of God, I think, that I got it. And I view it as a ministry opportunity, and I think those things tend to work. You know, if you're diligent, they work out pretty well. But I'm really excited.
I can't say I've ever heard a new coach talk about derivatives and Fortune 500 companies when they're introduced. I think we can all learn a lot from that. From your background in that world and taking over organizations, what are you looking for when you step into an organization to try and change? What are kind of the watermarks of what you're looking for?
I want to see how the people in the organization deal with each other. I want to see if there's transparency. I want to see if people are selfless. I want to see if people are hired well. Do they understand their job? Are they overhired? Are they underhired? I want people to have a sense of responsibility for their area. Over managing them is a really bad thing, and sometimes with head football coaches, like with CEOs, you get a little bit, you lose your humility, and you think you become kind of a tyrannical. And I believe that's really bad for organizations. So I look at that, and then I look at how the various parts of an organization, the various processes, how are they fitting together? And if there's a disconnection in any of that, that's pretty low-hanging fruit. And so that's how we'll start.
You're very clear and confident about your goals, long-term and short-term for this program, and you kind of want to do both at the same time, build the long-term culture, compete right away in a tougher conference next year in the American. How do you balance that? How do you do that?
Well, as I said, players win games, not coaches. But we've got to put them in a spot where they feel well-loved, where they're safe, where they're willing to give Here's what happens to players when they're safe. When they feel loved and they're safe, they lose the fear of failing. And you can't be great if you're afraid to fail. And so we'll get better just because of that. Now, when we add our staff and we do some things with strength and conditioning that we have to do, and we go into the portal, look, I expect us to be a really good football team.
Biff, you seem like a practical guy, but somebody that may be a bit of a dreamer too. When you think about what this place should look like 3 to 5 years from now, if all goes well, what does that look like to you?
Well, I have a dream. I'm not going to tell you it exactly, but it's going to be there won't be 40,000 seats in this stadium. There'll be 80,000 seats in this stadium, and we will be playing, at a very, very high level. And I expect us to be in that expanded CFP. I mean, Cincinnati did it. Why can't we do it? And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're work to do. And I just see great things happening here.
All right, Biff Poggi, good luck in Ann Arbor the rest of the way. Can't wait to see you back here in Charlotte.
Thank you so much. Thank you.